warm welcome to everyone for this premiere talk. Quite a special premiere talk, I would say, tonight, because we have not just a premiere, we have a piece that we have never seen before, Eskapist. And I'm so happy to have you here, Alexander Ekman, the creator of this piece, I would say, Mikael Karlsson, the composer of the music, and of course Nicolas Le Riche, artistic director, who has made this thing happen. And my name is Katarina Aronsson, and I am the dramaturg here in the house. I think we should give them some applause. I think they need applause. It's just 1 hour to go. Are you nervous?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, you are also nervous?
Yeah, every time.
Yeah. And Nicolas?
Yes and no, but we'll see later.
So, Alexander Ekman, we are so happy to have you here again. We saw Tull some years ago, and then Midsommarnattsdröm, of course, and then you have made a Swan Lake in Oslo and play at the Paris Opera. And I remember at the beginning of the rehearsal period we met. And I said something, how will this work? And you don't have so much time, and so on. And you say, I'm calm. You know, I've done it in Paris. So well, no.
Really?
Yes. So what did you mean? Was it complicated in Paris, and everything after is easy, or?
Well, yes, and I think it was, for me, the Paris Opera was my biggest dream for a long time. So I had sort of built up this whole idea about that place, you know. So that's why I sort of became really nervous when I was gonna create that, yeah. So that's why, and then to come back here again felt like coming home in a way, you know, which it is for me. So.
Yes, we're so happy that you can return and return many times, I hope. Yes. And Mikael, you have also been cooperating with Alex in the 9 production or something.
Something like that, yeah.
But you're also a composer that do other things. You did an opera in New York, a couple of years ago, and you write for pop artists and classical artists, and you were engaged in the Nobel Prize Divertissement last year.
Yeah, I'm a frivolous composer.
Yeah. So what is it with Alexander that you like working with him?
I think it's his curiosity. I think he's also an incredible craftsman. No one can paint a stage picture like Alex can. And he's fun to work with. We started out as friends, not as colleagues. And I think that was important to our process. He challenges me. He constantly surprises me. He pushes me. But it's always worth it with Alex. And we've been working together for a long time. And we're lucky that we get along, because it is a lot of pressure to be under. But I think we know each other well enough that no matter what happens, we know that at the end of the day, it's worth it. And I'm just proud to work with someone who knows what he's doing so well.
Yeah. And why did you ask Mikael to come along all the time?
Well, same thing back. Yeah, no, but it's been an amazing journey that we've been on, creating all these different works and starting out and now being here. And it keeps changing. You know, every piece is new, and we're constantly in a new place together. You know, so it's been a crazy ride up till here.
I think there's also similarity in our process in that it's about discovery. We have no clue what we're going to build when we start building it. And then the rest is instinct and editing. Yep. And so that works well, since the pattern is the same. So it comes down to trust in the process. It comes down to trust in that something that looks half-baked early on has potential. So, and that takes time to develop that trust between disciplines as well.
So,
So, yeah.
it's good to know each other very well
Yeah.
and also know each other's processes.
I can give him something that's half shitty, and he just waits a little before he says no.
Nicolas, I mean, Alexander is quite famous for his quite spectacular set designs. I mean, he had a lot of water on the Oslo opera stage in a swan lake. I mean, thousands of liters of water. And in Paris, it was thousands of green balls and also big balloons. And he had hay here in Midsommarnattsdröm. So what has been the biggest challenge for the house this time?
Well, I believe maybe I can talk a little bit about what Mikael has just said regarding, like, when we first met, we don't know what to do. It really reminds me a little phrase by Chanel, actually Coco Chanel, who has a customer arriving and asking for a hat, crazy hat. And she look at her, take some scissors, put it on her head and say, "You have your hat." And the customer, of course, is she was very disappointed because it took only a few seconds. She said, but it took only a few seconds. Well, a lifetime. So when Mikael and Alex are saying, well, at the beginning, we don't really know where we are going. They don't really know where they are going, but actually they really know where they are going. And the big challenge for us is really to support them and to follow them and to provide the best support that we can. Actually, we invite them in this house to be crazy and to be creative. Okay. And of course, we are a very structured house, I can say. But still, we are trying to support them at the most.
Yeah. Eskapist. I looked up the word in the Swedish Academy's word book, and it says undflyende av verklighetens problem, escaping the problems of reality. And it's also compared with chappa, which means running away, and also escapade, chappa, escapade, which is sort of adventures happening or experience. And I think it works quite well, actually, with what I have seen here in rehearsals. But could you explain what it means for you and why did you choose this title?
Well, we developed it together with Katarina, the dramaturg over there. Well, first this evening was going to be like a triple bill of existing pieces, then it was going to be called Nu, and then now it landed on Eskapist. And I think it's a great theme for the theater, because it opens up the door to dreaming and to creativity, you know. I basically, it's my job to be an escapist in a way, to, you know, picture things and imagine things and daydream, so it's a very fitting concept. Yeah. You are a choreographer, you are set designer, you are lighting designer, you have made a film in the performance. I think maybe you could compare it with being a film director. You sort of have, or a painter. You sort of create the whole piece like this. It is kind of like a film in a way. It's not really like a ballet. It's not an opera. It's a show, you know. I don't know.
So I would be very interested in sort of looking into your head and.
Everyone says that.
I mean,
well, you can't tonight.
How does it start? I mean, is it a picture you have, or is it a choreographic idea, or is it music, or how does it sort of start?
Well, it's a mystery. I don't know. But I get very clear ideas sometimes, just with images and with objects. Usually I see something and then I think, you know, what can you do with that object? And, you know, then it goes, and it's a process, you know. It's this whole process is crazy, you know. You never know you never know when creativity will appear, you know. Sometimes it's in the moments when you least expect it, you know, and when you're the most tired and bored, or, you know, and then it suddenly comes, and so you should just keep working, you know.
Yeah.
Because that's it.
That's true.
But I'm a firm believer of hard work. Like there's no way that anything like this can come together without hard work, you know, and questioning and over. Is it good enough? What does it mean? You know.
Mm. But you have ideas, I think, about, of course, about the variation of the piece. You have a group. You have 37 dancers, and you have scenes with the group. You have poetic scenes, you have comic scenes, you have scenes with one, and do you have sort of a plan, a structure about the form, or does it develop during the process?
Yeah, no, it's a big plan. We make like a storyboard, you know, and we have scenes, and then we make a plan first of all, you know, and then the job is to just put that out there as quickly as possible, and then you see what works and what doesn't work, and then it's a lot of killing your darlings, you know, that saying, you know, when you see an idea in reality that you've imagined, and in my head it was like so good, and then you see it in reality and it doesn't work at all. And then it's a really painful, hard moment, but then you take it out, whatever it is, and then it's a relief.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's when
I think you are quite good at killing your darlings, because I have seen things disappearing during rehearsal weeks. Yeah.
It's brutal.
Yeah, it's when you make such a long piece also, you know, like this has to work with that, and you can't only think about those 5 minutes, you know.
Yeah. That's the way to success, to be good at killing your darlings.
Editing.
Yeah.
Editing.
So Mikael, how does this work? I mean, is it the dance first, or is it the music first? Could you tell us a little bit about your process working together?
It really is a back and forth. Alex, I've talked about this a couple of times, so if you've heard it before, I'm sorry. But Alex usually comes to New York and works with me in my studio, and we write the beginning sketches together. Alex is a very musical choreographer. He likes to think in rhythm. He likes to think in musical emotions, and so that works for me. I can talk to him easily, which is especially good since music is impossible to talk about. And then he goes home and he has this idea when he comes to me. So the concept is finished already. Then I start to compose out the different little sections and try to see where the potential lies, what works with what else. Do we have enough variation? Alex will send me references. And eventually we have a Dropbox full of very strange material, pointing in very different directions. And I think that's good as a growing ground for something that isn't only about the music, because then he has problems to solve. If the music says something, then maybe it's the dance that should connect two things, and maybe it's the lighting that should connect something else. So otherwise it becomes a soundtrack to the dance, and I don't think that works. So then we just try it out, and then see where we need to tempt the audience to go. And at the end of it, suddenly there it is. And like Alex says, you just keep going. You don't know how you're going to get there, but every time somehow you do.
Yeah. Do you disagree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, otherwise it wouldn't be a good creative relationship. It's tough when we do, but I usually know that he has something else in mind in terms of all the other workshops. I have two workshops that I work with. It's the musicians and it's the sound department. Those two things, I know how they work, but he has so many more departments to work with, so he usually has a reason for what he says. And
every process is new also. Some just kind of flow, and sometimes it's a bit, you know, it's new every time. So you can't learn this job, I think.
No.
in a way.
You learn it on the job.
Yeah.
I think it's important to mention the costume designer as well, Henrik Vipskop, the Danish fashion designer who has made fantastic costumes for this show. I don't know if he's here.
It's back there, I think, right?
Okay.
No?
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 He's hiding.
He's very mysterious. So, Alex, how did you start working with him, and what is it you like about his?
Well, I was in Oslo and I went into his store, and then I thought, what is this stuff? And then we contacted him, and then he said yes, and then we made Swan Lake together first. And it was just a kind of creative click, I would say. We have a very interesting process, very simple somehow. Yeah.
It seems as if the costumes have inspired you to some of the choreography.
Oh yeah, so much. Yeah. Yeah.
You will see.
Yeah.
Is it possible to, Nicolas, is it possible to sort of characterize the style of Alexander? I mean, you have been a dancer for so long and you have worked with so many different choreographers. How would you sort of...
Well, maybe by telling a meeting that we had in my office here in the building on the 11th floor. Don't be anxious. No, but we are talking about very serious project. I mean, it was very serious and we were really thinking. And after 2 minutes, Alex was hanging on my ceiling like that, and then asking to take some picture just to get some kind of ideas, and then went back to I have a big whiteboard, and then he started to draw little things. So maybe that's a way to describe a little bit Alex there. No, do you recognize yourself?
Yeah,
kind of.
Good to play. Yeah.
Play, exactly.
Yeah.
Playfulness, that's
I
something
think
that...
that's where it all happens,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah. So hanging in the ceiling in a meeting is a good icebreaker. It's one of my tricks.
Yeah. We haven't talked so much about the dancers. The dancers are also amazing to see, I think, in this piece. 37 dancers. So how do you get them to follow you? I mean, could you tell us a bit about the process of actually being the leader and get them to do what you want?
Yeah. Well, what was the question? Like, how do I...
You are the person who...
how do I lead?
Yeah, how do you...
Well, it's the same
boat.
thing there, playfulness, I think, to create an atmosphere where we play together, I usually come in and, try this movement, what is that? And it takes time, we need the first weeks, the first 2 weeks is very still, everyone's kind of scared, where are we going, what is this? What am I going to do? Is it, so there's a lot of fear involved from my side and from their side, and, So, but I think also to listen to the dancers and to see when they start to play what they do, because if someone is standing over there doing something fun and that looks good, then I would be like, what's that? What are you doing? And then we do that with everybody, and then we try that, and then it comes...
So they're really part of the...
Oh, yeah, so much,
yeah.
I think if a dancer, because if I come in with everything set, it's not going to breathe the personality of the dancer, So you have to. I think the most beautiful is when you really see an honest voice dancing, So I think it's to find that, and to bring that forward.
I mean, maybe this is a very silly question, but is this company in any way sort of different from other companies that you have worked with in other parts of the world?
No. Well, I mean, yes and no. I think that I feel comfortable here now after what has happened. So yes, it's different in that aspect. But yes and no. Dancers are dancers, and people are people.
Yeah.
You know, we're the same somehow. But I feel quite comfortable here, and I do think that this house has a, I don't know, I just love this house. I get ideas here, and it's home, so I think I know, you know, creating for my people. So, you know, Swedish, being Swedish in Sweden is there's another layer there, you know.
I think
Is
also,
it the same for you a bit, or?
well, Alex has the relationship with the dancers, but I think what I see as a pattern in how he addresses the dancers is that he's looking for characters. He's not looking for a unified mass of beautiful dancers. He's looking for personality and to pull whatever that is out of them. So he turns something that is a big group work into a work full of characters.
Yeah.
And I think that's really special.
But it's people managing. I mean,
Yeah.
like, you know, these dancers they're working hard every day. It's a physical job to come in, and then I come in with a great idea, and then hopefully, and then then the dancer might have had a shit morning, you know, and then we have to meet there, you know. So that's really the trickiest part of this job is that, like, the communication, the constant ongoing relationships with everyone, and you know, we all
And now tonight you now you have to leave them, and you can't do anything more. I mean, how does that feel?
so weird. Yeah, I don't know. It's but now I'm gonna try to just sit back and enjoy, and it's there, and it's alive, you know. So every night is a new show, and that's what's so great about the theater, but also so nerve-wracking, you know. Yeah. So it's we'll see how it goes tonight.
Yeah, you can't do anything more now.
Nope.
No. Are you escapists? You have already said that you are.
But I think Alex is absolutely right. We are by profession.
Yeah.
That is our job. I remember Alex describing what he was looking for in a new piece in a documentary back in the day, and he said, I want to see impossible stuff. And I think that's at the heart of what we do. It's done through deception, manipulation, craft, and trusting in all the workshops and the people that work with us to pull it all together. But at the end of the day, it is about manifesting something impossible. And music is abstract by nature, dance is half abstract usually. So it's at the core of our business.
I think what I like about this is that because escapism is seen as something negative often, like this, that you escape from something, and it's like, oh, you're just escaping, you know. But for me, it's a great thing, you know. We can daydream, and we can go somewhere else in our minds, and I think that's what this piece is, why it's there. You know?
I feel a message here that maybe we should all be a little bit more of escapists, because then perhaps things really would happen. Yes, and more after seeing your piece. I think that's something that you should try to be more and more. And of course, if you want to create something, you have to be it, I think. Yeah. So. Nicolas, would you like to add something? Are you an escapist as well, or will you? More and more?
No, right now I'm a strange escapist, because I'm an escapist in transition, I would say, because I need to be quite granted still to be there and to, but I'm hoping that some person will be escapist for me in my work. Otherwise, in the life, definitely.
Yeah. What will happen next? What will your creativity take you? Do you have any plans, or?
I'm vacay first.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm feeling I want to create some movies, film maybe more. I don't know. I will see. I will listen.
We look forward to seeing and listening to your music and seeing more of your dance work in the future. Thank you so much for coming here, and thank you.
Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Very well.